What is going on, guys? How are we all doing? We are back today with another little hardware review, and it is from the fine people over at Vandy Vape, and it is the Kensei RTA. Before we get into this though, did you like the little pictures that I had in the beginning, the little B-roll kind of thing? Let me know in the comments below so I know whether to keep it on or keep it not. I'm just trying to think of other ideas to make the videos a little bit better for your viewing pleasure. So, we've got another little RTA review here. It is the Kensei RTA by Vandy Vape. What we're going to do in this review is we're going to drop it down to the table, we're going to go through the unboxing of it, and we're going to throw a little build in it. And then after that, we're going to come up top and we are going to go through the pros and cons of this little tank. And I will tell you how I think, what I think of it. And we'll tell you what I think of it. And blah, blah, blah. You know how these reviews go now. So, before we go down to the table, take a little second, click onto this side, click onto that side, one of the little sides, drop us a little subscribe and hit that bell notification to get updated with my news and my latest reviews. I have taken a little bit of a lax side to it recently, but I'm back to it full force. Should be doing at least 3 videos a week again, if not more. None of this 1 video every other week bollocks that I've been doing for the last month or so. So, drop it down to the table and we'll do a little unboxing and throw a little build on it. Nice one, guys, and I'll see you back in about 5 minutes. Yeah, in about 5 minutes. Sound? See you in a sec. Hello guys, welcome to the table camera section of the Vandy Vape Kensei. I'm trying out a couple of different camera angles for this, so let me know how you think, and if you think it's a little bit better. I think it's a little bit better. So, with the Vandy Vape Kensei in a simple clamshell kind of packaging, it is simple, it's not much thought went into it, but it does work and it is very effective at what it is. On the top here, you've got the Vandy Vape logo embossed, the Vandy Vape embossed, and then the Vandy Vape logo there. You've got a big TPD warning. On the side here, you've got Vandy Vape, full steam ahead, and your serial number. On the back, you've got to learn more about our products and how to use them. Please visit www.vandyvape.com. It's got the address, keep the contents out of children, non-smokers and animals. Made in China, batch number, another TPD warning. Full steam ahead on that side again, and you've got Kensei RTA on the top, which is upside down. There he is, the right way down on the back. So, inside the packaging, you do get one Vandy Vape Kensei RTA. Yeah. Underneath the flap, you get a bubble glass, which is a 4 milliliter bubble glass. You get a nailed 810 goon style drip tip. And then underneath this, you've got a bag of seals, and inside there you've got a little blue screwdriver, couple of spare O-rings, couple of spare seals, and Allen key, spare grub screws for your build deck, which are Allen wrench style rather than flathead that comes inside the tank, and you get a Vandy Vape tool on the inside there, and you get a Vandy Vape Kensei user manual in about 1 billion different languages. So, dropping everything, let's go onto the tank. You've got a 810 style drip tip in a nice red resin, and it's a little bit stiff because it's got really dry O-rings. You've got the Vandy Vape logo embossed on the top of the tank, and you've got a nice clean catch cup with a O-ring milled on the inside, so a proper goon style drip tip. On the bottom, you've got Kensei RTA, you've got the serial number and the model number. C and E, don't vape in a bin. You've got Stephen G, the designer of the tank's signature, designed and manufactured by Vandy Vape. Unscrew it, and I'll show you how to change the glass. Oh, this happens a lot with a lot of Chinese kind of manufactured products. It's not really Vandy Vape's fault, but you'd still expect a certain level of service, certain level of standard when you're paying a fair bit of money for a bit of a kit. That, like, you know what I mean? They're not cheap, not expensive, but they're not cheap. And then the O-ring is snapped on it. Exactly what I mean. That is exactly what I mean, right? Put another O-ring back on the top of the tank. Good job they include spares with this one. And to change the bubble glass over, all you need to do is take that off and then screw the other top back on, nice and tight. Screw, and then with the Vandy Vape tool that we mentioned earlier, just give that a nice tighten up so it's all in. You've got dual flow options on the inside of the tank. You've got dual juice flow options on the inside of the tank, and you've got the Kensei logo embossing on the front there in silver. And you've got, let's have a look at this build deck. So you've got nice, clean, well machined kind of threads. I've noticed with the black one here, it's a hell of a lot cleaner than what my blue one is that I've been using, that I'm going to be using in the Wick video. But a little bit more about the build deck. You've got honeycomb style airflow, which gives you the nice restrictive airflow. You've got deep juice well linings, and you've got 4 velocity style 4-poster staggered, so you've got your coils, so you've got your top leg going in there and your bottom leg going on there. You've got your top leg going in on this side and your bottom leg going in on this side. Sorry about that, guys, just had the customer in. Where was I up to? You've got a nice staggered, which makes it really easy for your coils to go in, and just raise it up, insert your coils, clamp it down, snip it. Same on the other side. We've got quite a deep juice well here. One thing I don't like about this is that these seem to go in on a little bit of an angle unless you've got your coils really high, and there's very little flavour. I don't get an awful lot of flavour from this tank anyway, to be honest with you. Unless you've got your coils very high, it's quite an angle to get these in, and it's quite prone to dry hits slightly sometimes if you don't wick it properly. Right, so I'm going to show you how I build this thing, and then we're going to go up to the top and give you my thoughts on the actual device. So before we go, we've got a nice protruding adjustable 510 with a peak insulator. So this device is very safe for your hybrid mech mods. So, and dual Cyclops airflow on the bottom. Sorry that was in the wrong order, but yeah, it works. Right, I'm going to throw a little build in this now, and then we're going to go back up to the top, and I'm going to show you all my pros and cons. Thank you very much, and enjoy the little time-lapse build video. Right. What is going on, guys? We are back up the top with the Vandy Vape Kensei. You've seen the little build that I've thrown in it, and I'm going to tell you a couple of little my pros and cons, what I actually think of this device in practice, and whether I think you should actually go and buy it or not. So this tank is quite an old tank. It's been released for nearly a year now, a little bit over a year possibly. I really like the packaging of it. I like the way it's presented. I like that it's got a bubble glass included in it, which like nowadays you can't really do anymore, but when it was released and when it was out, that was perfectly legal to do. I like that it's got the option of a 2ml tank and it's in a perfect straight, and you've got the option of a 4ml tank with the bubble glass. So, pros and cons. I think, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of this tank. It's not amazing, but it's not shit at the same time. I think the build deck's a little bit too small. The actual build deck inside, it's like a 20mm build deck. It's the holes, the post holes for the actual tank is really, you can fit giant coils in it, you know what I mean? But then actually the actual wicking of it, let me see if I can get this out. Like you can fit massive coils in this, but then once you've got them in, it feels like you are going to be struggling to get your cotton down there. And these come in at a hell of a little angle, and I don't really like it. I think the build deck should, like it's a 24mm tank, they should have made it a 25mm tank, which is a little bit bigger for most people, but that you would have had the extra little build space to get your wicking correctly, because it is a little bit difficult to wick with if you don't do it properly. You've got dry hit city, and if you do it too tightly, you're dry hitting. You're absolutely dry hitting your head off, and if you do it too loosely, you are gonna be flooding your tank out completely. I've done this tank maybe 4 or 5 times, rebuilt it. I think on the little recording it was possibly the 6th time that I've done it. It's only this time, right now, as I'm recording my review, I've got decent flavour off this. Every other time I was coming into this review today all fully prepared to give this a negative review. The only thing is the flavour. I didn't get no flavour off this tank whatsoever until this time, when I've done nothing different from any other time that I've done it, but the flavour's just popping on it. So if you don't do this completely right, if you don't coil it completely right and you don't wick it completely right, the flavour it's not bad. It's there. I've been using 12 Monkeys Hakuna through this, and if you've ever tasted this liquid, it's an absolutely gorgeous liquid, full of flavour, full of apples, and the flavour is ridiculous. But through this tank, I've just not had a pleasurable time vaping any of the flavours that I've done, even some of my own liquids that I know exactly how they taste because I've friggin' made them. All the flavours are just being muted. They've definitely been there, but all the high ends just being cut off, and it's just a base flavour. And as I say, I've wicked it a couple of different times, I've coiled it a couple of different times, and every time's been slightly different. What I've just done in the video, I'm getting really good, really crisp flavour. And no dry hits. That was my only major con, was the flavour was muted. Now I've got really good flavour off it. The only con is the actual build deck. It's just a little bit too small. So, we're going to move on to pros. In terms of pros, it's a really good tank. The airflow is really smooth. It's a really nice, it's restrictive, but airy at the same time because of the 30 little honeycomb dots that you see in the up close. I don't think I actually went down to it. So if I've never done that in the unboxing, I'm going to do it now. And you're going to see what I mean. You've got 30 different honeycomb slots. Is it 30? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 12. You've got 24 honeycomb slots on there, which just smooths out the airflow, which is a really good idea. It's this tank. The Vandy Vape released the Kylan, which I was a massive fan of the Kylan. You've seen me review on it a few days ago. I had nothing but praise for it. Then a couple of months later, over the next couple of months, they started releasing a lot of tanks that were designed by vape reviewers, and then they released this almost a year ago now. And you know what, I've paid no attention. It sat on the shelf in the cupboard in my shop for the past 6 months until I went, you know what, gonna grab a hold of that, get a little review done of it, tell you guys what I think on it, because you know, I need to get more hardware reviews on this channel, because to be honest with you, I know I am, so you must be bored of all the juice reviews by now, because there's only so much you can say about a juice review. But as hardware reviews, there's a lot more to say. You can get down to a lot more business with it. So, the airflow's really smooth, it's really controlled, but really airy at the same time. So it is restrictive in terms you can't just absolutely lung it like you can with some other tanks. You've got a nice little pull, a nice little bit of restriction to it, so it's... I know I'm not explaining this very well, but if you do eventually get hold of this tank, you'll know exactly what I mean. It's got no problem, as you can see, producing the vape. So, the flavour actually changing during this review has changed me overall rating for this tank. It is a nice tank, it's not an awful tank, but it's not the best tank that I think it could be. I was prepared to give this tank about a 6 out of 10, maybe a 5 out of 10, because it's good. It's not an absolutely groundbreaking, but it's okay. But now I've got decent flavour, it's boosted it up to about a 7 out of 10. So, my name is Bobo, we've been the VAPERY. I hope you enjoy our videos, guys, I really do from the bottom of my heart. If you haven't seen any of the other ones, go and check them all out, and there should be a little button there, or a little button there, or just click that little logo in the next couple of minutes when it comes up on the screen, there or there. And give us a little subscribe and hit that bell notification too, because it means the absolute world to me. Right, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you all have a good night. And remember, keep cloudy. See you in a bit. Peace.